Hi, I'm Shaul. The other week we had an unusual hailstorm developing. One of those occasions when the spring weather manages to surprise us. The size of the hailstones coming down from the skies was really unusual. They were the size of uh, snooker balls, really heavy too. That hailstorm actually damaged a lot of cars where I live. So I needed to quickly document what happened. Now I had, by chance, two cameras at my side. However, setting those cameras to capture video proved to be a bit of a faff. So I resorted to a different device. I'll talk about it later. Thinking about that situation in retrospect makes it clear that there is one aspect of cameras, of photographic gear in general, that is not talked about enough, at least not that by us photo enthusiasts. And that is the simplicity of operation. In a modern camera, there are hundreds and hundreds of parameters that have to be set in order to make the camera produce the results we want in photo, in stills, but especially in video. Um, Now, those parameters can be controlled by the user, but they can also be set automatically according to the user's intentions. Designing a user interface is a tricky thing. You have to be quite clear about what you want the user to control and what is set under the hood, behind the scenes, by some algorithm inside the system itself. Given that all those complex cameras are designed by engineers and that engineers are overly occupied with small, minute details, makes it even more tricky. The developers of a device such as a modern camera would like to give the user maximum control over the operation. They would like to allow the user to fine-tune functionality to a ridiculous level. That would, of course, make the operation, the usage of the device much too complex. There are many aspects of the operation that can be left to the device to be set automatically. However, you have to give the user a way to define their intention, what they want to do. So some aspects have to be allowed access to by the device user. It's not an easy thing. Different devices are targeted at different market segments. Casual users do not want to mess with all those settings. However, professional or specific users with specific needs have to have more access in order to achieve the specific results they are after. For instance, when I photograph small items for scientific publication, or when I want to do precise comparisons between items, I need to make sure that the shooting conditions were identical. So I have to set the exposure, the white balance, the focus to a very precise, repeatable value. And that requires me to delve into the settings of the camera and make sure that nothing is left to the internal algorithms. I turn every auto setting off in order to make sure that the photographs I took are the same. At least they were made in the exact same conditions. But when I take photos to document my life, my experiences, I don't care so much about the precision. I want to convey some feeling, to communicate my experience, my lived experience. And I want photographs to look pleasing to an outside observer. So the level of control I need is much smaller. In fact, I prefer tools that do not give me all that control, that do not consume so much brain power, and that can understand my intention and respond accordingly by automatically setting the shooting parameters to what I would like to achieve. Using a simple tool, or at least a tool with a simple user interface, makes a lot of sense. Most of the consumer market is after intuitive, simple to use tools, including camera gear, of course. A simple tool is usually easy to use. You don't have to remember which function you assign to each customizable button, or how your custom mode affects the assignment of functions to buttons. And it can go very complex, very fast. So having just a limited set of controls makes a lot of sense. You can quickly develop muscle memory that is required to operate the system efficiently. You don't have to use your memory, your brain. To strip it down to the absolute minimum, the camera has to offer you control over only two general aspects of the photograph. How bright it will be, and what will be sharp in the resulting photograph. Now there are three functions, three settings that affect those two aspects. Shutter speed, aperture, and focus. Every camera has to give you control over those three aspects. So let's take a simple device such as the Nikon FE2, released in the early 80s. It gives you control over the aperture through this aperture ring on the lens. It gives you control over shutter speed using this shutter speed dial, and you can set your focus by looking at the viewfinder and turning the focusing ring on the lens. There's a nice feedback in the viewfinder with its split prism and micro prisms that tell you when you achieved accurate focus over your subject. Those three aspects of the photographs, those technical aspects, give you control over those two characteristics of the photo. Shutter speed will determine how sharp objects in the scene will look according to their speed of motion. Or if you set a shutter speed that is too low for solid holding of the camera, everything might be soft, which might be what you want. Aperture will set the depth of focus. It will determine how sharp things will look according to the distance from the camera. The focus will allow you to determine at what distance from the camera the sharpness will peak. Of course, the combination of shutter speed and aperture and the sensitivity of the film stock will determine how bright the image is vis-a-vis the available light. If you want to make the image look brighter, you just open the aperture while leaving the shutter speed as it is, or slowing the shutter speed while leaving the aperture as it is. It is really trivial. This camera has a light meter inside, so it gives you a recommendation of the shutter speed, whether you need to increase it or decrease it to get a balanced brightness. You can, of course, override that recommendation. This camera also has aperture priority, so you can tell it to automatically determine and set the shutter speed in order to achieve a correct brightness. Overall, this is a simple device. It doesn't do anything more than what I just described. And it gives you control over all the important parameters and nothing more. So the user interface is quite basic, quite simple. You can still set the delayed exposure and force it to do double exposures if you want. But those are functions that are used only occasionally. You don't have to utilize them for every photo you make. Move on 30 odd years forward, and a typical device would be something like this D700. Now, this is a much more complex device. It allows you to do more. It allows you to achieve autofocus, for example. It allows you to select the quality of the digital file saved on the card. It allows you to review your images after shooting immediately by looking at this LCD screen. It allows you to set your white balance, your focusing modes, your exposure modes, your metering mode, and a lot more. There's a whole computer inside this camera that determines how the camera will operate for each photo you make, and how it will affect the results. Naturally, the user interface of this camera is way more complex. There are plenty of levers, buttons, dials that allow the user to achieve just what they want. But the operation of this camera is very complex. You have to remember how to set each aspect of the shooting, which buttons to press, which dials to rotate, and it becomes faff to use this. Luckily, on a camera such as the D700, every lever, every button is labeled with the function it should achieve. For example, here you have a selector for the metering mode, and it is clearly labeled, so it is easy to set it to the right position and affect it the way you want. Here you have a lever for autofocus area mode, which is also labeled. It is easy to bring this selector to the right position, and so forth. Everything has a dedicated function, and that makes it a lot easier to use this device, as complex as it might be. The thing is that even on a complex device like this one, most of these functions are in charge of assisting you to achieve those same two aspects of the photograph. How bright the image will be, and how the focus or sharpness distribution in the scene will look like. The D700 is an early example of digital photography technology. Since then, there has been a trend of allowing the user more customization. So in newer cameras, A lot of those controls and buttons are not directly labeled, and you can select which function to assign to each of those controls. But that makes the operation of the camera more complex. You have to remember how you set your camera to behave. And if you have only one camera, you can develop some muscle memory after a while. And, however, if you have multiple cameras of different models, it becomes too much of a task. In that case, you have to keep mental notes that occupy some of your brain power. This is clearly not what the average user wants. They want to be able to shoot quickly and easily, and to have their cameras let them control only the crucial functions, like on this FE2, for example. All the complicated algorithms that are needed in order to make a good, correct photograph on a digital camera can be left out of the user's control. They can be performed automatically behind the scenes, and the user will never have to put their mind to them. A camera like the one shooting me now, the Nikon ZF, is an attempt to make a compromise between a simple user interface that allows the users to make changes only to the crucial settings, and much more comprehensive control given to the user behind the scenes. Those more granular functions are not assigned to controls on the surface of the body. They are assigned to a function button that opens a shortcut menu. The functions in that menu are not things you need to change every time you take a photo. You see, this camera has a shutter speed dial, an ISO dial, and an exposure compensation dial. It doesn't have many function buttons on the body. In fact, there is only one of them here. And the operation is quite simple, or so it seems anyway. In modern cameras, such as this one, with an EVF, you can get a good approximation of the brightness of the image by simply looking at the viewfinder, which makes the exposure compensation button much more useful than in cameras like these ones that use an optical viewfinder that does not respond to the camera settings over the brightness. So all you need to affect how bright the image will be is just turning that little exposure compensation dial, even before you take the photograph. The advancement in focusing achieved over recent years means that you do not have to mess with your focus settings, your autofocus settings so much. You can just leave the camera to do its thing. So now we have the potential of having really simple, easy to use user interfaces. Cameras are so good at automatically doing all those calculations in a fast, efficient way. The user doesn't really need control. This is best exemplified by devices such as this one, the humble Pocket 3. It has very little control given to the user. All you have to do is flick the screen open and it will start taking good enough video. It is good enough for me anyway in most situations. And this is the camera I use to document that hailstorm eventually. Because of its simplicity, because of its fast automatic operation that doesn't require any intervention from the user. The Pocket 3 is arguably a more complex camera than any professional device you can find, because it has an internal gimbal that compensates for movement, because it has to produce high quality video from a small sensor and using a mediocre quality lens. I wish I had an exposure compensation dial on the surface of the Pocket 3, which it doesn't. If I want to change the brightness of the video, I have to press the screen and look for the exposure compensation functions, which is not easy to do on the fly. And I often just accept what the brightness of the video, the default one, will be. But that is only to emphasize the importance of simplicity. Modern cameras can be made simple, and they should be. Simple, intuitive operation is a much desired feature of any device. The recent advancements in camera technology really allow for it. So it is time the manufacturers took it into consideration. Please tell me what you think about the operation of cameras, about user interfaces. If you had a camera with a user interface you liked, please specify it in the comments below. It would be interesting to compare our impressions of different cameras. I think that will do for today. If you like the contents of this video, if you would like to support my channel, please consider buying me a coffee. There's a link in the description below. It's a nice gesture between gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching, and see you again soon.